Hey guys, in this lesson we are looking at still trigonometry, sine, cosine, tangent, still trying to find sides or angles, still sometimes doing the Pythagorean theorem instead, but now it's all going to be in the context of some word problem that you have to just draw the triangle first. So just to start out with, though, we're just going to remind ourselves what these ratios are. So this first one's just kind of review from last week. It says sine of c. Now remember, when we say SOHCAHTOA, we're saying that the sine ratio is the ratio of the opposite leg. So from this angle, the leg opposite would be 24 over the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. So this is just the ratio, the fraction that puts the opposite leg over the hypotenuse. Since this problem didn't ask us to find anything except the ratio, we're done with the problem because that doesn't reduce. So I'm going to go on to number 2. It's talking about a tangent ratio. SOHCAHTOA. TOA is reminding me to use the opposite leg and the adjacent leg. So this time, even though yes, it has a right angle and it has a hypotenuse, I'm not going to use it. I need to pay attention to the angle for my labels. So across from my angle is the opposite leg. Right next to my angle is the adjacent leg. So if I put O over A, opposite over adjacent, it is the fraction 40 over 9. So once we write those fractions, we ask ourselves, well, what's left to solve for what we don't know? And that's what 3 through 6 are reminding us. So on number 3, it is a right triangle. Pythagorean theorem will not be helpful though, because I'm missing the hypotenuse and I'm not trying to find the hypotenuse. So that would be 2 things that I don't know. Don't want to do Pythagorean theorem. Instead, from the angle that's given, I'm going to label the opposite and the adjacent. So across the triangle for my angle is the opposite leg. Right next to my angle is the adjacent leg. And just like I reminded you, if you don't use the hypotenuse, you have a tangent ratio. So I'm going to start out noting that I have tangent, and then I'm going to say what angle I wrote those labels from. That angle was the 18-degree angle. It is equal to the ratio of the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. When you find an angle measure, you'll solve by doing the inverse of the trig function. Inverse sine, inverse cosine. It's that little -1. I'm not finding an angle. The angle is 18 degrees. I'm trying to find the side. And we said when you're finding a side, make a proportion and cross multiply. So 14 times 1 would be 14 on one side of the equal sign. The other side of the equal sign would be x times the tangent of 18. You'll notice I didn't get x on its own side of the equal sign, so I'm not done. I would like to know what x is, so I need to get rid of multiplying by tangent of 18. The opposite of multiplying by tangent of 18 is to divide by the tangent of 18. So 14 divided by tangent 18 will be what I put into my calculator, which, let me get mine pulled up. And I'm using one of those backwards calculators, so I have to type in 14 divided by 18 tangent equals. I'm getting 43.08. So that's about 43.1 once I round to the nearest tenth. I think I'm going to pause there. We'll do 4